You can't tell that these are not real meatballs unless you've tasted them.
Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Me in my kitchen space. In today's episode, let's make some vegetarian meat and we're making some Ndengu balls. These are the list of ingredients that I have for today's episode, and from here I have some breadcrumbs, and I've shown you how to make some fresh breadcrumbs at home using only one ingredient in my previous episode, so be sure to check that out. I have my cooking oil, some salt, soy sauce, I have an egg, I have a mix of some spices, and I'm going to leave the list in the description box. You can check that out. I have my tomato paste, grated ginger, grated garlic. I have my onions, my dengu or some green grams. I have some coriander leaves, and I have some coriander stems. And without further ado, let's get started. So I'm going to show you the easiest way you can go about this, and we'll start by adding in about a teaspoon of some oil. Then I'm going to go in with some onions, and if at all you have some spring onions, make sure you use them. If at all you also have the leeks, you can also use them at this particular point. And if at all you do not have either, you can use some white onions. So I recommend you use the white onions, leeks, or the spring onions because they carry so much flavor. And this is just the easiest way you can make some balls without having to struggle. Then once my onions start becoming fragrant, I'll go in with my garlic and ginger, and we are just using half and remaining with half. I want to make some stew out of these dengu balls. Then I'm going to toast this for about a minute. And once you start smelling the ginger and garlic in the air, it's time to go in with my spices. And I'm also going to add about half of it. And I chose this method so that our spices can cook. Once that is done, I'll go in with my dengu. So in this particular process, we are not really cooking the stew because our dengus were well done. We are just cooking the spices and softening the onions. I'm also going to go in with some coriander leaves. And I'm also going to add some salt. Then I'm going to mix this, and once everything is well combined, we are ready to go to the next process. So at this point, you do not really have to worry if at all you smash the dengus, because that is what we also want. That's it, and I'm going to switch this off, and then I'm going to let my mixture cool. Then I'll see you in about 5 or 10 minutes. So now that this has cooled down significantly, you have to wait for it to cool down so that when you add your egg does not cook. So I've been turning and tossing that, and we are going to add it in our container. Into this, I'm going to add in my breadcrumbs, and my breadcrumbs are going to help it so that ishikane. You'll also need an egg, and the egg and the breadcrumb basically act like a glue. Then it's now time to mix this so that we can start forming our balls. So I'm happy with that, and I'm also going to add in some coriander leaves because why not? So I'm also going to mix this to combine. Now that I'm happy with this, you can see it's quite firm and I love the structure. I'm going to start balls. Also, something else I forgot to mention is that you should taste this as it cools down so that you can ensure that the taste you want in your final product is exactly what you're tasting. So I tasted mine and it was very delicious. So the beauty about this is that you do not even have to do everything from scratch. You can just go buy Ndengu, 1 cup, and come and make these balls. And this is such an easy recipe. So this is what we have, and you can already tell that this is going to be a very bomb recipe. So let's proceed to the other side where we can start cooking them. So I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of some cooking oil, and we are just going to shallow fry this. So once my oil is hot, I'll start by adding in my balls, and we just want to shallow fry them so that they can attain a beautiful color, and also so that the eggs can cook, because remember, everything else is cooked except the egg. So my first bunch is ready, and look at this. This looks so beautiful, and it's also crunchy, and no one will believe that this is not meat. So I'm going to set it aside. Then I'm also going to add in my second batch, and I've already cleaned my pan. So these are also ready, and we're just going to set them aside.
So let's have a taste test, and by the look of things, you cannot even tell that these are not real meatballs. They look so legit, and the taste is also legit. So I will recommend you to try this recipe. If at all you do not eat animal protein, this is a very good substitute for animal protein. And the taste, also amazing. Remember, we seasoned our dengu, and that's why the taste is also amazing. So don't skip out on that step. And also the textures are amazing. So join me in tomorrow's episode as we make some dengu ball stew, and be sure that no one can even tell that these are not real meatballs unless they have tasted it. That's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Also hope you learned something new. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll definitely see you in my next one. Bye.